goddamn button. Press the goddamn button.
What's up? A lot of y'all don't really think that Siri and these AI generated applications have much of an effect on you. Like it doesn't really matter. But I want y'all to take a close look at this video. Shout outs to the person who posted this. I'm glad I came across it because now it's humbled me in a way to where I'm going to be a little more self-reliant on my own creativity. And it should scare y'all. If it don't, hey, my hands are clean.
This video is for Florida only. This is for only the people that's planning to move to Florida or that live in Florida. You need to really pay attention what this man is saying, because I told you Florida is going to be the first state to crash with this water crisis.
Every time you ask an artificial intelligence a question, every time you generate an image, and every time a massive language model is trained, something physical happens that the tech giants don't want you to visualize. We have been sold a lie that the digital world lives in a weightless, invisible place called the cloud. We are told that the cloud is clean, efficient, and environmentally friendly. But as we move into 2026, the residents of Florida are beginning to discover the brutal reality. The cloud is not a cloud at all. The cloud is a massive, windowless concrete warehouse filled with thousands of scorching hot servers that require an astronomical amount of resources to keep from melting down. This is the beginning of the AI water grab, and it is the most significant and invisible threat to Florida real estate that we have ever documented on this channel. While you are being told by city officials to shorten your showers, to stop watering your lawn, and to install low toilets to save the dying Florida aquifer, a new neighbor has moved in next door. This neighbor does not pay attention to water restrictions. This neighbor consumes more fresh water in a single day than an entire suburban neighborhood does in a month. Florida has quietly become the fourth largest hub for data centers in the United States, serving as the digital gateway to the southeastern region and Latin America. But there is a fundamental conflict that nobody is talking about. The big tech companies are choosing to build these massive data centers in the exact same state where the drinking water supply is reaching a breaking point. To understand why this is happening, you have to understand how a data center works. These buildings house thousands of computer chips working at maximum capacity, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This process generates a level of heat that would destroy the equipment in minutes if it weren't constantly cooled. The cheapest and most effective way to cool these machines is through a process called evaporative cooling. In simple terms, these data centers suck in millions of gallons of fresh water from the local municipal supply, spray it onto cooling pads, and let it evaporate to carry the heat away. The water that evaporates is gone. It does not go back into the drain. It does not return to the aquifer. It is literally pulled out of the Florida water table.
So imagine you constantly burning up this water and you get so comfortable to the point to where you think just, oh, because we have rivers and we have oceans and all of this land that has massive amounts of water that we can just replace it and it's just going to endlessly come back to us. Nah, that's not necessarily the case. Once that shit evaporates, it's gone. And if you're telling me that they've been doing this already for a number of years as it is, we are lucky. I mean, lucky to still be having any running water in our houses at all.
And released into the atmosphere as steam, so that someone in another part of the world can generate a cat video or a line of code. As we move deeper into 2026, The scale of this consumption is becoming impossible to hide. A single large-scale data center can consume between 1 million and 5 million gallons of water every single day. For perspective, the average Florida household uses about 80 gallons of water per day. This means that one single AI data center consumes as much water as 30,000 to 60,000 homes. When you see a new data center project being approved in Miami-Dade, Broward, or Orange County, you are looking at the equivalent of a whole new city being added to the water grid, but with the tax base of 30,000 families to support the infrastructure. This is a direct competition for a vanishing resource. It is your morning coffee, your children's bathwater, and your garden's survival versus the cooling needs of a server farm. The alert we are sounding today is that this is not a future problem. It is happening right now. The infrastructure that was designed to support Florida's growing population is being hijacked by the artificial intelligence boom. City councils are approving these projects because they promise high-tech jobs and modern prestige, but they are failing to account for the long-term cost to the homeowner. Every gallon of water that a data center pulls from the aquifer is a gallon that cannot be used to push back against the saltwater intrusion we discussed in our previous investigation.
So the more fresh water you use, the less we have, and eventually all of that salt water that's coming in from the ocean is going to start replacing it, causing more harm than good. But for the majority of you love ChatGPT. Some of y'all got relationships with these fucking AI characters, have whole friendships, go to McDonald's with them and shit, and do all this weird stuff with it. Use it to create your thumbnails. Use it to create these videos that you want to go viral so that you can make money off of them. The entire time while you are prompting and typing all of this stuff in and purchasing these apps, guess what? You're basically helping dry up the water. And I know it don't seem like it's going to have a long effect, but you really have to dig a little deeper to understand how much harm this is doing to us. Shout out to Sydney too, by the way.
We are witnessing an engineering disaster where the state is inviting the very industry that will accelerate the death of its freshwater supply. In the next few minutes, we are going to look at the terrifying numbers behind this consumption and why your property value is now directly tied to the cooling bill of big tech. To truly understand the gravity of what is happening right now in 2026, we have to look at the numbers that tech companies try to bury in the back pages of their sustainability reports. The comment we received from our follower, Bodica234, was absolutely correct. Florida is not just attracting people. It is attracting data centers at an unprecedented scale. Currently, there are massive projects coming online in places like Hillsborough, Miami, and the Interstate 4 corridor. But what most residents fail to realize is the physical water cost of a single AI prompt or a large language model training session. Recent data indicates that for every 20 to 50 questions you ask an artificial intelligence, the system effectively drinks approximately 500 milliliters of fresh water for cooling purposes. This might seem like a small amount on an individual scale, but when you multiply that by the billions of daily interactions processed on Florida soil, the volume becomes catastrophic. An average-sized data center consumes between 300 million and 800 million gallons of water every single year. In Florida, this water does not come from surface reservoirs or captured rainfall. It is extracted directly from the Floridan aquifer and the Biscayne aquifer. These are the same primary sources that provide drinking water for 10 million people. The competition is direct, and it is brutal. The aquifer is like a bank account where everyone is withdrawing, but almost no one is depositing. When an AI data center moves into a county, they often receive what we call priority of service. Due to complex infrastructure contracts and economic incentives, these facilities have supply guarantees that the average citizen simply does not possess. In times of severe drought, which are becoming the norm in Florida in 2026, restrictions are applied to homeowners first. You are banned from washing your car or watering your lawn, while just a few miles away, Millions of gallons of fresh water are being sprayed into cooling towers to ensure that a server farm for a company in Menlo Park or Seattle does not overheat. The impact on real estate is a ticking time bomb. Artificial intelligence is quite literally consuming the liquidity of your property. Without water, there is no life, and without life, there is no real estate market.
We screwing ourselves. And they disguise it as, oh, we're advancing society and this is going to help the public and it's going to bring more jobs in. I tell y'all, in another clip that I watched, they built a smaller one. But even with that, they're only going to hire, 50 people. So really, they lied to you. All of this has such a dark twist to it. I hope and pray that when you watch this, that you really consider everything that has been said in this video. My hat's off to the narrator, because the research that you did, I absolutely appreciate. And I always said AI was going to be like dangerous, but the more you hear people like peel their layers back with this shit, it's like, yeah, we are really walking a thin line with it. And I don't know if there's any going back from it. I don't know how y'all feel, but let's talk about it.